Hello, it is Nick, your animated archaeologist, here to bring you another treasure that I have dug up. It is 1992's Midori, or as it's called in Japan, Shojo Tsubaki. And this anime is based off the manga Mr. Arashi's Amazing Freak Show by Suhiro Maro. So the story is about the titular Midori, the camellia girl, whose parents pass away, and she has to drop out of school to sell flowers in the city. And basically, she gets picked up by this Mr. Arashi, who's the boss of a freak show circus, like sideshow basically, and gets her into the circus. And for how like shocking and depressing the subject matter is, I mean, this film is an impressive marvel of animation, as it was single-handedly created by Hiroshi Harada. Given the subject matter, like, he found it impossible to gain sponsors, so he basically used his whole life savings to make the film over a 5-year period. And Harada drew like 5,000 separate sheets of animation for this. Even in Japan, for many years, it was pretty rare to see this film at all, as Harada would only screen this film in Japan if the venue was basically presented in the style of like a carnival freak show. And also, for as unredeemable and terrible as all these characters are in this film, like, the character designs still are amazing. Like, I wish it didn't have to go to this anime, honestly. But yeah, in this film, Midori is like literally scarred and just like abused by every member of this circus, like every way but Sunday. Like, there's this part where there's this like one character called Canaboon the boy girl who like literally like just murders these puppies and like puts it in like soup for like everybody, and it like psychologically just like messes with Midori, which, I mean, this movie just literally sounds like it was made by a bunch of middle schoolers trying to be as like edgy as possible. And then Midori rightfully tries to run away, and then Benitsu, the snake woman, who looks like the third missing member of Sada Bonaire, basically protects her and looks out for her, even though she, in the beginning, was part of the hazing process against her. And then there's this illusionist named Masamitsu, the bottled wonder, who basically uses magic to fit inside a bottle because he's like so small, and he becomes like a high ticket earner for the circus. And Midori like basically like falls in love with him. And one of the most iconic characters from a marketing standpoint is definitely got to be Tokuriji, the mummy man. He's a disfigured character. I think he has like leprosy, or he's like a burn victim, but he has like no arms too. But he's able to like do like archery with his like feet. But yeah, Masamitsu gets like jealous because he's like in love with her too. And then yeah, basically puts him in like a hole of quicksand or something in the ground with a bunch of ants, and it like consumes his body in a matter of seconds.
どうした？早くでないと沈んでしまうよ。ほら、できないだろう。お前はろくでもないやつだ。死ね。お前なんかに緑ちゃんは渡さん。
And then Masamitsu basically goes like ape shit and like puts her in a bottle, and then he proceeds to do his shtick, and then he just starts like bombing during his performance because of he's like out of whack, and like basically just like burns down the entire like circus tent with everybody in it. And then somehow Midori has like Stockholm syndrome, where she like still loves this guy even though he's like insane as fuck. And then the end of the film just consists of her like, you're witnessing all of them, even though she's trying to get away again. Like, they just keep pursuing like spirits or something like that. And the whole end of the movie is just her basically having a mental breakdown, essentially, which is 100% understandable, honestly, especially with dealing with all this shit. Then she legit just like straight up tries to attack them, and then they just like dissipate into the wind, which gives me this interesting theory about this. Like, since this is a Japanese anime, it's obviously rooted in Japanese like folklore and mythology. It's actually based off a story that was passed down since like the 1920s, the Showa period. But my belief is that all these circus members are actually like demons or like afterlife Japanese yokai demons or monsters, which is like actual demons that a lot of Japanese folklore like worships. Because at the end, in the end credits, it literally shows like legit yokai, like onis and all these other kind of different just monsters from Japanese folklore. So part of my theory is that she died probably in the beginning and she's like in some like weird purgatory or hell. That's like the only way to describe how like or excuse how like fucked up these characters are in this movie, honestly.